This 4x4 is driven by Michael van During from the Smallholder Agri-SME Finance and Investment Network, SAFIN. It explores green finance in the smallholder agriculture space.
So my name is Michael van During, and I'm the technical specialist for SAFIN, and we work in the IFAD offices based in Rome.
How important is climate finance to the members of the SAFIN network?
So the priorities for SAFIN are set by its members. So green is a very big priority for its members, and what SAFIN tries to do as a network is essentially align the thinking, the learnings for its members in terms of setting priorities on what needs to be addressed within green, but also sharing learnings within the network around thematic areas such as green finance. We particularly focus actually on climate finance. I believe that the focus on green was essentially set to better align our partners around green or environmental focused finance. The green finance focus falls under our learning agenda, which focuses on three main thematic areas that were selected by our partners. The first one was green, the second one is digital innovations, and the third one is around farmers' organization and their access to finance. Now, the learning agenda launched around green in May of last year. The digital agenda and the landscaping, we have pushed it towards green because we're actually working with an IFAD program. Well, it's two IFAD programs. The one is ICT4D, which focuses on digital solutions for farmers in particular, but here also encompassing Agri-SMEs. And then a new fund project that's being launched by IFAD called ARCAFIM, which is going to be investing in green solutions. So that includes providing green finance to Agri-SMEs. They have a focus on Agri-SMEs in East Africa, I believe, and they're considering also investing in a portfolio of digital solutions for green finance.
What challenges has SAFIN identified that impact on investment in climate-smart agriculture?
I think it's a really complicated question. I think that one of the main issues is that financing agriculture is extremely difficult, especially in developing countries. We know most of the reasons, be it the risk or the lack of tools or expertise, etc. When it comes to green, we're essentially asking funders to invest in agriculture, but also with a very specific use for the funding, which becomes all the more complicated. I think that what we're seeing is that on the private sector, there's definitely a growing interest and appetite to invest in green, not necessarily to take more risk, but when it comes down to it, even if we introduce the risk mitigating tools that we have available, ultimately we have to realize that a lot of these private sector investors, unless they have a very clear agriculture portfolio development agenda, are making choices between investing in this sector or other sectors and comparing the risk on one hand, but certainly the returns, which have been proven to be lower than many other sectors. So there's a real challenge to be taken on in this sector.
The CASA programme is proud to be building partnerships across the world to drive investment for climate-resilient agri-food systems. Visit the events page, past events section, to hear other expert viewpoints shared in the CASA 4x4s and webinar series.